Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays.
Pro Bowlers Tour, and if the name Weber strikes a familiar tone to you, that's as it should be. Pete Weber, son of Dick Weber, leading by 25 against Jeff Bellinger. Not an ounce of deviation in his last three shots. All right on the same line, all right in the same area of the pocket, and all three strikes, Bo.
David, he's just bowling as well as anybody on the tour right now. He left a solid 10 in the first frame, then buried 3 more for strikes. He's waiting for the ball so well. The hardest thing to do in the game of bowling is wait for the ball, especially with that high backswing. Weber's just letting it happen and not forcing it. He looks very tough out there today.
You mentioned that he's waiting for the ball. Now, can you make an analogy there between that and golf? You hear golf pros all the time saying wait and wait for the action, wait for the ball.
Well, very simply, if you try to pull the trigger on a golf club too quickly, either your hips slide by or you don't get the leverage and hit the ball squarely. Same way with a bowling ball. You cannot force it.
Wait for it to happen all at once. And Jeff Bellinger has fallen behind young Pete Weber. You talk about a kid being only 19 years old. He's been out here for 3 years. As Bo mentioned, when you've been in the finals as many times as he has, that has a tendency to mature you, I think. So shouldn't be deceived by looking at him saying, gee, he's only 19.
Jeff Bellinger, this is his second championship round appearance. He made it in the King Louis Open and up here in Greater Hartford Open. And he's a man you're going to hear a lot from. He's a strong guy. He's got a real nice compact swing, and he's a good, hard fighter out on the lanes.
He's been scattering them all afternoon, and that time scattered all but one, left to 7.
Well, Jeff is playing the long line to the pocket. He's too far outside, depending on that ball to break so sharply at the back end. He almost leaves the 7-10 on a wall shot there. The head pin came across, knocked the 4 into the 10. But he's going to have to get lucky to catch up to young Weber while he's playing that line.
And Pete Weber now leads by 46 hits. This a most important frame for him. He's working on 4 in a row and bowling in the 6th frame. Cry goes up in the background. Pete, Pete, Pete.
Well, he's sure doing it. He's leading by 56 pins. 6 great shots to start the match. He had that solid 10 the first frame. Got a little break there where he tripped out to 4-9. But he definitely has the gauntlet in hand. He's got Bellinger under his foot, and he can just mash him with another strike here.
On the Brooklyn. But a healthy round of applause for a great start by Pete Weber. Was that pressure that caused him to go across and hit the Brooklyn there, Bo?
Not so much pressure, David. I think it's just the human element. You talked about that high backswing having trouble with control, and every once in a while, especially a power player that's young like that, when he misses, he'll miss 3 or 4 boards to the left of his target. Get an erratic shot like that, it breaks all the way across the Brooklyn. He got a good break and an easy spare.
Now you can get a great deal on any Volkswagen.
Green one.
Bud was 7 pounds over the weight and got TKO'd by Braxton in his last fight. Let's see if he's in shape for this fight. It'll be an interesting fight if he isn't. He should win if he's in shape, though.
Jeff Bellinger is in bad shape in this match with Pete Weber.
Well, Bellinger tried to make a move inside of more of the trajectory. See his ball's in on about the 12th board at the 45-foot mark. He took a gamble, moved inside. He did make the right guess, by moving inside, but he didn't move far enough left. If he's going to catch up in the match, he needs almost all strikes and disaster to hit young Weber.
And you could see him talking to himself. I'll tell you, don't want the door open any wider than that for Pete Weber.
I think it opened and closed in one shot. Here's Jeff. He just kind of lost it. As you said before, a lot of these young players, David, has struggled quite a bit with spares when they quit striking. And Jeff has had trouble getting strikes in this match with only 2 strikes in the first 7 frames. He's going at a 170 pace.
And the old grandpa, Dick Weber, can sit back down in his chair now and relax, I think. That's a strike, but carefully, it probably comes a little late in this match against Pete Weber. We're going to watch the way he lofts the ball.
All right, you want to get the ball about 18 to 24 inches over the line and have it land like an airplane. You see the ball goes up. That one there, he had a little extra bounce on. He was out about 2 feet. But that's the lift putting the ball out there and not throwing it out there. Look at the action on the pins. Saws that 5 into the 4-7. Good strike, but it may be a little too late.
Looked like a good hit.
Another solid 10, just part of the game, David. The 6-pin goes flying up around the 10. You'll watch it be the second pin on the right-hand part of your screen. It normally goes to the sideboard and actually comes back and hits the 10. Watch what happens here. There it goes up in the air, hits the sideboard, but doesn't come back and get the 10. Definitely a wrap.
It's a young man who's cashed in 9 of 14 tournaments. I believe that shuts the door, doesn't it? There's Dee Dee. She likes that.
Just checking the scoreboard, but there's not much to check. If young Weber doesn't even show up, he's got a 208 game. The best Jeff Bellinger can do is 200. It's going to be a very tough match coming up. Young Weber against Jeff Mattingly, who finished with a 260 average for the last 5 games last night.
Dead on the head pin.
Dave, you have to wonder what Marshall Holman's thinking about. Here, Bellinger got a bunch of good breaks against him and knocked him out, keep his streak going, and then he completely falls apart against young Weber. I guess when you're snake bit, they don't let loose very easily. Bellinger could have the dubious distinction of rolling possibly the lowest game in the championship round this year. If he doesn't convert this, he'll be in the 150s.
But he did convert it. Pete Weber, the winner, and finally he permits a small smile to crease his face.
With the new